Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We are going to have an excellent conversation, actually, several conversations this evening. And because I want to honor your time so much, I'm going to move a little quickly on the intro because, look, I love spending a half an hour just saying what's up to you guys in the beginning. But for all the folks that are new, for all the folks that are watching this on the rerun, let's be honest, you know, they fast forward through the beginning. So if you're joining us here for the first time, usually what we do is take the next few minutes to greet all of our channel members because they're the ones that literally keep the lights on. But also, if you're watching this the next day or the next day or the next day, do me a favor and drop a comment. Some people say replay mafia. Some people say recapitulation syndication. Shout out to Spin 360 on that one. And shout out to the Noti Squad. If you are part of the Noti Squad, do me a favor and channel members sound off in the chat so we can do a speedy, super speedy intro. And I think I may bring the guest of honor in while we do the intro. What do you guys think? We'll give it a second. First, we'll greet the first person coming in, and then the moment you give me a thumbs up, brother, you just you let me know, and I'll keep an eye on you. I love watching you anyway. Uh, all right, let's go through and say what's up. First in chat this evening was DB, my boy DB, who also has a nickname Monica. I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, DB, my guy, congratulations on being first. Is this the first time you've been first? It's impressive. I'm going to say it is. Look, it is very difficult to be first in the DLD After Dark chat. So, congratulations, DB. We'll do a quick fist bump. How about that? Fist bump. You good with that? All right, ready? Put your fist up. Come on. No one's looking. Come on. My guy, appreciate you. DB, appreciate you, man. Let's give a quick shout out to all the channel members and the guest of honor. When you're ready, just give me a thumbs up, a salute, and a whoop de whoop. All right, so we got Gutter Cheese, channel member. Great to have you, Gutter Cheese. We got Johnny Propane in the building. What's up, Johnny? Great to see you. And there's actually several Johnnies here, so I got to be specific. Let's see, Gutter Cheese. We got Fat Gray Man in chat. What's up, brother? We got Jason Ewing up in here as well. Great to see you. Slim556. I'm just kidding. Slim223. What's up, brother? Great to see you. We got Lightning McQueen in the building as well. Now, a lot of times when you guys see these things up on the chat, it says like ATF, right? Or Eagle, Kimlight, Eagle, Kimlight. These are people using the super dope emojis that I have. And I may have uploaded like 5 new ones or so, 4 or 5 new ones. But on the computer, they just don't compute. So they show up as whatever I named them. So you may see ones like this, GTF, or stuff like that. Anyway, Eric Stockbridge, what's up, brother? Great to see you. All these are channel members that we're shouting out here, so I appreciate you. ADXR920, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Kurt 20 who we all know is a producer of the show and an excellent mod and a great channel member. Kurt 20 my guy, great to see you. Great to have you back. Zanti Misfit, what's up, brother? Also a channel member. Appreciate you. Lightning McQueen, Zanti, Fat Gray Man, Kurt 24. Let's see, I'm just going through. Blue Curtain Burner, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Mike McLuhan, the Goon, my guy, great to see you. We got TMC in the chat, my brother. Too many choices. Check out his channel as well. Let's see, Mike McLuhan, the Goon, 308, aka 7.62 by 51. Great to see you. Let's see, Slim 556 by 45. We already greeted you. Fat Gray Man, Zanti Misfit, Johnny Propane. Let me see, TMC, the Dark Eek. Isn't that the dopest emoji of them all? I'm just saying, that's got to be the dopest emoji of them all. Let's see, we got Tim Hoppa. Great to see you, Tim Hoppa. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and as we finish this off, we're going to bring in our guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him, you buy all of your OEM Glock parts from him because let's be real, he's MGB. He's the one that started the thing on the internet. All right. So let's keep it real. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on the most important screen you'll see this whole show, which is a great place to get your discounts at marinegunbuilder.com for the parts store. And don't forget to use code REMEMBER for 20% off of your order. Now, for the second most important screen you'll see, Marine Gun Builder.
The
What's up,
24s are out, baby. Check those pythons. What?
Hey, yo.
What's up, man?
What's up,
What's
brother? Great
going
to see
on,
you.
Patriots?
Man, it's dude, it's been a while since you've been on. I'm extremely grateful to have you here. I know you literally just hung up your headphones from another chat to put back come in here, but it's great to see you, man.
Yeah, but you know what? We've
Yeah.
been talking. Hey, we got to ask the fam here out there. We've
Yeah,
been talking about doing a weekly stream. We got to let.
I know.
What do you guys think? Me and Doc have been talking about we should do a weekly stream because every time
For
we stream
months.
together, shit goes crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We break the YouTube algorithm, every
Yeah.
time we stream together. So we got to ask you, do you want to see a stream every week?
Yeah, we talked about that. And for months and months, we've been talking about it. And we were like, you know what? Mondays, we're going to do it, midday on Rumble. And then we ended, life happened, right? So for all those guys and gals out there that if you were waiting on that to start, I'm sorry. All right. But I'll take responsibility for that one.
Right.
But
not here though, because we got to be able to talk the way we talk.
yes,
Right?
exactly. Yeah. We certainly can't do it here. Just to go finish up this quick intro, Agorizer, also a channel member. Drew, my guy, lifetime channel member. Great to see you. And I know you recognize a lot of these folks too.
Yep.
Let's see. So ADXR920. Oh my goodness, he's dropping all the emojis. Let's see. Drew, Bob Masabo, great to see you. And let's see, Mike McClune, Fluffy Bunny, Arsenal. What's up, my guy? Great to see you. And a lot of you guys have supported MGB at his store as well. So I
Yes,
certainly
thank you very
appreciate
much. And
you.
it is the only store to go to for genuine OEM parts. And that's
I
the
don't know
truth,
another
right?
place. Yeah, straight up.
That's not even a sales pitch. You know why? Because I've taken over this industry.
You
I'm rooting
literally have.
out I am rooting out all of the bad actors that are in here, and I'm
Yep.
sending them in their Taiwan junk
Yep.
packing,
I
right?
even heard of one particular that may rhyme with Ranger Practical.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh,
No, they're
forgive
all
me.
going. They're
They're all.
all going. They're
And,
all
and
going.
these people were like in the top 5 of all eBay sellers of
Yeah.
all, it's disgusting, man. And there's a bunch of dirt bags in there. Gutter Cheese, Eric Stockbridge, all channel members. DJ Play Nice, man. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Great to see you. C&T Designs and Arms. I'm seeing all the work that you're doing. You're literally live streaming like Congress committee meetings and the ATF, like all this crazy stuff. You got way more patience than I do, my man. So I appreciate you, man. Shauna Ewing, channel member and a mod as well. So show some respect. All right, guys. Let's see who else we got. Agorizer, CNT, Shauna, DJ Play Nice, CNT, Lightning McQueen, brother, great to see you. And we are coming to Deplorable Bitter Clinger. Oh man, I thought your name was Green. ADXR 920's Anti Misfit. Hey, and look at this. ADXR 920 just gifted 5 DLD After Dark channel memberships, which this
Yeah.
is huge. So that means
We gotta
that
ask ADX, how's that channel liner doing?
hey, did he get a
How's
channel
that
liner?
channel liner?
The channel liner.
The channel
Joe Morris got a membership. Fire Rider got a membership. Deplorable Bitter Clinger got a membership. The 2A Boys got a channel membership. And Ron Bear got a
welcome.
membership. Look at that. Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
hey, listen, if you don't know who the 2A boys are, somebody throw a link down to their social media and their Instagram
Yeah,
because they are the future of education on Second Amendment.
I
They're the
totally
future.
agree.
Those 3 boys, those 3 young kids are the
Hmm.
future of this entire industry here on social media and educating the next generation. You know, that's something that I've
Yep,
talked about for years.
yep,
That is the number one commitment that we need to make is to that younger generation, and that is them. So if you don't know
yep,
who the 2A boys is, please, guys, go out into their Instagram and start following them. Go
yep,
on to their .com, the 2aboys.com,
yep.
subscribe to their newsletter. These kids are
Yeah,
killing
and
it, beating
honestly,
everybody in competitions,
yep.
killing it.
And look, man, I've done a lot of shooting, a lot of team shooting, done shooting in kill houses, shoot houses, done a bunch of different trainings and even simunition stuff. And the way that all of them, including the father and the kids, these kids handle their equipment better than most adults do
Yeah,
that I've shot with. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it, I'm very impressed, and mom and dad, you guys should be super proud. So I appreciate y'all. And CNT Design, and thank you by the way, ADXR 920 for sharing those channel memberships. CNT Designs and Arms shot a $10 super chat, bro. Thank you. He says, "Perps, get the weekly going."
See, right? That's the second $10 super chat saying we want weekly, right? If we don't
Yes.
listen to the audience, we can't listen to anybody,
I know
right?
it, man. I know it, man. It's super important, man. Y'all are the ones that run the show. We just show up and
Yeah,
we just show up and do what y'all say,
yeah.
Ron Bayer, TMC's Anti Misfit, C Fire Rider, Eric Stockbridge, Goonbeam, my guy, the best flashlight company in the world. Go in the description, link in the description, and a discount code. You'll literally get like, do I have one here? Do I have? Yeah.
And what? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! We got to use this opportunity. We got to use this opportunity. Hey, listen! Right now, the
Hmm.
2A boys are here, and Goonbeam is here at the same
Yep.
time.
We
We
got to
need to
connect
connect you
them.
guys.
Yep.
We need to
Yep.
connect you. We need to run some Goonbeams on those rifles that they're competing with, man.
Yep.
right? We need to start running that.
And
So
that, the staccato and the Glock
yep,
and all,
yep.
I think what yeah, I think it's staccato. Whatever handguns y'all are running too, he also makes some incredible weapon lights, and guys, I don't know if y'all know this, but, you may be seeing some new, very new, hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn, um, new versions coming out soon, and they may even be available for pre-orders. So if you go to the link in the description and you clickety click the thing and then you type in code dark, not only will you be able to pre-order some like stuff with cloud and mod light quality, but with less than a streamlight price. And they're all of his new stuff, like totally took it to the next level. Goonbeam, hopefully I'm not saying too much, but and I'll definitely connect the 2A boys and Goonbeam and also
Yeah.
Gideon Optics too. Help get them some optics if they're not already connected with them too. Sport Brand, my guy, great to see you. Joe Morris, ADXR. If I missed you guys, sound off in chat. Let's go ahead and keep him Senor Bob, as MGB says, brother Bob, brother Bob.
Brother Bob, brother Bob,
So let's
brother
jump in. Man, great to have you back. I keep seeing more Tech Money. Love you, bud.
Bob.
Great to see you. Tech is the man. He was in your community for
Old
forever
school
too.
patriot, man.
Yeah,
Old school patriot.
yeah.
Yep. Old
So
school, man.
chances are, there may be people here that have no idea who you are. And
Fucking out of here, right?
right? I know. Well, so we're just getting started. We
Yeah.
got like 65 people in here and we're
Yeah,
like just beginning, right? So this is
right.
beautiful. So and look, the topic right now of Brian Malinowski, who was shot in the forehead by the ATF, is a hot topic, and that was mentioned in the title here. So we'll touch on that too, but just government overreach in general and all that. But before we get into all that and some other things, um, give everyone just a quick little intro for people watching this the next day, and people here for the first time. Kind of who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. According to the government, I'm a domestic extremist.
Yeah.
But I'm an old school gun builder, gunsmith, firearms fanatic. Dedicated years of my life here to educating folks on how to build their own firearms.
Mhm.
Run Freedom Crew University, where you can learn how to build everything from an AR to a Glock to SIG to 1022s to AKs.
Yeah.
We do it all. I run marinegunbuilder.com, which is all Glock OEM parts kits made to order. I'm a Glock armorer as well, and a
Mhm.
6 hour armorer as well.
Yeah.
But the store carries everything from all generations of Glocks and all models, all calibers. So it is the number one destination. And obviously, I'm dedicated to educating people and rooting out all of the terrible parts that are out there.
Yeah.
As a gun builder and as an educator, um, I absolutely hate every time we go into a forum or try to go into post and we see person after person, with unsafe weapons, guns exploding.
Yep.
It really gives our entire industry a really bad name. But because of all of these companies that are importing the stuff from Taiwan, that's garbage. It has really
Mm.
put a stain on us. And unfortunately, I've been so suppressed in social media because of what I do, right? Teaching
Yep.
you to build guns, boogeyman, right?
And
Um,
I'll be real, you were like the first one to put
yeah,
out the Polymer content,
huge. Yeah.
fixing the Polymer problems, the rails, I mean, honestly, a lot of people. Thank you, Kurt, for dropping MGB's links there. And I'm also an instructor at Freedom Crew University. We got a lot of
Yes.
great dudes over there. So show some love, go to Freedom Crew University. But you kind of like started the movement in a way, and you fixed a lot of problems as well. So a lot of people know you, dude. I built my first P80s watching your videos, bro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I mean, look, it's one of these things where I would say that what bothers me the most is that the safety information has all been taken away.
Yep.
Like all of the education I did, yes, I might be known for, building Polymer 80s, but when you really looked at all the content that I had out there, it was really preaching about building
Safety.
the best rolled off the factory, first time quality,
Mhm.
safe weapon that you can build.
Yeah.
And to have that portion removed has allowed over the last couple of years for all of the counterfeiters, the scam artists to come in and start selling all of these junk parts to unsuspecting people that have come in who don't know any better because they can't watch the content that I created for years about how to do this safely and what to use and why it's important to use those things, right? And so I would say that's the biggest, kind of gut wrenching thing out there is that the market has been flooded with this, and in turn has been flooded with. So, I mean, you guys know, right? You go on anything from Reddit to Glock Talk to any of the social media groups, everybody's got junk guns now, right? And
Hmm.
that's the last thing you want because at the end of the day, my friends, in the moment of truth, it's got to work the first time.
Yeah.
Right? There is no second chances in the moment of truth. It's you got to pull, it's got to go bang, right? And
Yeah.
so the fact that so many people are buying these $20 kits on eBay and they're having catastrophic failures, that's bad enough because it's
Yeah.
people getting injured, okay? But the second portion to that is that if they were actually in the moment of truth and that weapon failed at that time, they're dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like, so anyway, I guess, having a lot of that content, well, all of that content removed and
Yep.
taken away from us has been really difficult. Obviously, this is one of the biggest reasons why we started our school as well, to
Yep.
keep the content going. But, we can't compete with the masses that are out there and the amount of content that they took down that had millions and millions of views across all of the
Oh
platforms.
yeah. Yeah.
It's been that I think is what we don't talk about enough. Like, these companies go and remove this because it's firearm related, but what they're really removing and making is a completely unsafe environment when it comes to firearms, and then
Yep.
reblaming the firearm industry for not being safe enough
Yep.
when they're the
And the
ones who are
tools.
removing all the information
I
of
know.
safety.
It almost seems like that's a plan of
You
theirs,
think? You
Yeah.
think? You
And it's
think?
crazy because like this is something that we've been, obviously you've been in for much longer than me, but we've been both in the industry for a while. And I'll cruise through Reddits and you were a huge piece, like the creator of like P80 Reddit and subreddit and all that. I don't know how that stuff works, but I come across stuff
I
every now
started
and
all those
then.
groups.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you were
I started them. They
the
didn't exist
an
before me.
the
Right?
antithesis. I think isn't the antithesis the beginning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And uh and I came across this one. I don't know, the other day, the other week, other month, the other year. I don't know. Anyway, I came across this one, and this guy was like, test fired my build today. Okay, so first I got some questions. If you just went directly to live ammo, right? Like, what are you
Right,
doing, right?
right,
He
right.
said, test fired my build today. I kept getting a stovepipes, which he was getting a failure to extract. And
Right.
he said, kept getting stovepipes. And the parts seemed to be working okay. Only one part didn't fit very well. You
Yeah.
want to guess what that one part was?
Which one?
The spring and the slide lock were malfunctioning. So this dude is out firing live ammunition through a handgun, and the slide lock is in the slot, visibly shaking around. When he gets a malfunction, he turns it on his side, and that shit goes yip, yip. Like gravity was just, he was blessed by gravity. Somebody was looking out for him. Okay, like
Yeah.
people are doing unsafe things, and maybe he gouged the frame, right? A lot of people go to the Dremel on the channel, and a lot of people, like, people do things that could, uh, you know, possibly, what would be the word, like, potentially, like, put at risk the structural integrity of the frame, right? Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
compromise. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Like, compromise the structural integrity of the frame, and if you just go ham with a Dremel or my favorite, the 9 millimeter mill that they used to include in every P80 back in the day, By the way, I got a huge bag of those. I sell those at DLD Hardware for the people that just don't understand channels. Uh, and if you do it that way, okay, it's cool. Go to Freedom Crew University and take some classes. But the things that people are doing are so unsafe because there is almost no accessible information. They have to go on Odyssey and Rumble, and a lot of the people that have gone over to those types of they've basically killed the industry, right? And they're
Yeah.
trying to do whatever they can to, destroy the businesses while we wait for the Supreme Court, outcome and all that. So it's been wild. It has been absolutely insane, and yeah, I feel bad for the builders, man. And not only do I feel bad for the builders, I'm running a business that is, working around things like with DLD hardware, selling jigs and,
Right.
tools and
Right.
stuff, maintenance, things like that. I got pallets of frames that, I would love to sell
Right.
and can't, so it's
Right.
affecting all of us. But I'm glad that your parts are still moving. And let's hit on this real quick. So tell me about
So,
this.
yeah, well, so hold on a second. Can we just bring this up because you brought up something
Yeah.
so important, and I just wanna kinda address it real quick. Bring us both back up before we come into back to this.
Yeah.
So, what Doc is talking about is very, very serious out there, okay? Thousands of these kits are being sold every month,
Hmm.
these Taiwan imported kits, and this is why it's become an epidemic, okay? As but again, all this information is pretty much gone, right? I was the one who started the Glock knockoffs versus OEM and educating people on not getting burnt, right? Not getting burnt, not just from the safety issue, but you have to understand that what these fraudsters do is they know that the majority of people can't tell the difference between a knockoff part and an actual OEM part.
Yeah.
So why I went on that huge education thing for really about a year was going through methodically what each part is, what it looks like,
Yep.
what to look for, how the markings work, all of this stuff. Because what happens with these Taiwan parts, they've gotten good at it too, and they also followed me and they tried to improve on the
Yep.
things that they did, right? We know it's been a cat and mouse game for quite a long time.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
industry of knockoffs has always been huge, right?
yeah.
And what they do is they look at people comparing, this is how you can tell the difference between a fake one and the real
Yeah.
one.
So
And the
I'm the only
scammers
one
are
that's been
like,
educating on that for a long
yep,
time,
yep. I mean,
because
I was there, you know what I'm saying?
right,
I was
right.
close.
But it originally started because so many people in my own community, we had like
Yeah,
20,000 folks in my own off-site community, right? 20,000 builders. They were getting scammed. They were buying things at OEM prices. OEM is expensive,
yeah, yeah.
okay? But they were buying OEM kits and they were getting sent knockoff parts.
Taiwanese bull,
And
yeah,
and they wouldn't know, but they didn't know it was a knockoff until their gun had a catastrophic failure. And
yep,
we started seeing person after person coming in, and we're like, "Wait a minute, show us the parts. Let me see the
yep,
parts that you
yep,
use." There it is. There's the problem. That's why
yep,
that firing pin snapped. That's why that slide lock failed,
yep,
right?
yep,
Right. This is why you've got a dead trigger on you, or your trigger can't reset, right?
yep,
Because of these parts. And but understand that when all that information was gone and removed, the epidemic ballooned. So
yep.
you go ahead and bring this up. So, well, hold
Well,
on.
especially to
Here's the good news, friends. Here's
uh,
what I'm trying to tell you: is I have been working a lot on updating all of this content. I'm going to give you just a little preview here.
mhm.
This wasn't planned. But that's I just added it to that slide deck that you had in there. I added
Oh,
two
no,
things,
that's cool, that's cool.
but I've been going through every part that Glock makes, about 250 of them so far, and going through each one to give you the education that you need. And when I do this dump and I start releasing it, it's going to be massive. And I'm going to ask that
Nice.
everybody take it from any platform that I put it on and you reshare it everywhere so that
Yeah,
we don't run into this situation where if I get removed or I get, banned or taken down again,
yep.
that it dies with that. All
Well,
right.
you
But
were
what
sitting at 2 strikes, by the way. Are your strikes, dissolved
my
by now
YouTube
or
channel, I can't, you know that I
yeah,
can
yeah,
barely post there. But
So real
bring this
quick,
up.
yeah, I'm gonna pull it up just real quick. Bradley says, "I learned that the hard way."
Yeah,
Man, I'm sorry to hear that. If you
yeah,
had a catastrophic failure, if your gun blew up or something, do me a favor and thank YouTube because YouTube took that information from you.
yeah.
And genuinely, though, I'm sorry to hear that. Jackson, welcome back to the Glowy platoon, my guy. Appreciate you
There
being
are
here.
less than 5 OEM parts providers and kits. There's lots of people that sell OEM individual parts,
Yeah,
but as far as kits, there's me and 4 others, and
yeah,
really we're down to 3 now because 1 got out of the business.
mm,
So, you've gotta be careful. You gotta
yeah.
be careful, right? You gotta go to a trusted source. Go to the
Mm.
next slide. So
Oh, there's.
here's I'm gonna
Okay, okay.
so I'm gonna give you an example of what I've done here, okay? I guess it doesn't show up too good here,
I
but
can make
I've
us.
gone through each part. So this one happens to be talking no, leave it how I have. I've been going through each part of every model of Glock and every part in the Glock. So, like, your Glock 19, 17, 26, right? And then which would be 9 millimeter, and then, your 22, 23, 31, and 40 cal, your 27, 33, and 357, right? They all have 12 lower parts and 12 upper parts, right? So I've
Mhm,
gone through all of those, plus all the generations. So, like, here is an example of the 43X,
yeah.
right? They've started to now go into Gen 5 and duplicating Gen 5. But basically, what these things are going to tell you, I've got over 250 of these. Okay. It's going to show you exactly what to look for, right? So, in this particular thing, you have a slide lock, which is something you were talking about, right?
Yep.
And that's exactly what it does. It locks the slide to the
Yes.
frame,
A lot of
right?
people call
That,
this the
right.
takedown latch, the takedown lever,
Yeah,
this is a slide lock. This is
right.
quite possibly one of the smallest and most important components of your whole lower receiver, of your whole frame,
Right.
right?
Right.
Eh,
So, again, um, people will the fraudsters will just make this piece and try to sneak it into kits and sell it off it as OEM, right? So if you don't know what you're looking for, so here obviously you're looking for a stamp. But anyway, my point is you can go to the next slide too, like I did one on a string pin, but over 250 different parts. So no matter what you buy, you're going to be able to go to this reference and look and make sure that whatever you get has exactly what you paid for. Right?
mm,
Listen, I have no problem if somebody wants to not buy OEM and they want to go that route, then you're accepting that risk. I think you're a
yeah,
fucking idiot personally that you would put that into a gun because that's the last thing you should skimp on. Don't go to fucking McDonald's, right? Now that they
yeah.
charge $50. Buy, we're
Oh,
talking
wow.
about a firearm,
Yep.
right? You got to put quality shit in your firearm.
And an OEM parts kit is people say it's expensive, right? But think about this. Whoever says it's expensive, think of it this way. This is the most economical insurance what insurance plan? Yeah, insurance plan that you can purchase for your handgun, right? Just like Eric Stockbridge said a moment ago, he was like, I bought crappy Taiwanese parts, installed them, it didn't work. I bought OEM parts, installed them, it worked, right?
Yep.
Like it's OEM, and I guess some people were asking about this.
Uh,
OEM is original equipment from the manufacturer.
yeah.
So that
Bring this
is,
up full screen. I'll answer your question very easy for anybody here, and I'll be direct about it. Okay.
mhm,
What's your life worth? Because
everything.
that's the real question. That's the real question. What's your life worth?
Hmm. Yep.
Well, you're trying to save 30, $40. You know what I mean?
I
Are you
mean,
nuts? Like, you gotta be crazy. You gotta
and
be crazy.
weren't you also so like usually an OEM lower parts kit is like $85, right? Sometimes they go on blowout sales some
Oh, you
places,
got a
but
20% off sale. Where's the 20%? Put in code
they,
remember, you got 20% off right now. Free
there you
shipping,
go.
ships the same day.
Yeah.
Assembled by a certified Glock armorer,
And
right?
guys,
I mean
here's the most important thing, okay? Because I think people make mistakes because they're like, oh, these places sometimes, like, 4 times a year, OEM parts go on sale. Okay, let me bring this to your attention. I know people that have went and purchased real EOTechs, real aim points, real Trigicons from a real company, right? And when
Never
it gets to them, they get a knockoff. And
Yeah,
they're like, "What? How
yeah,
could this even be?" Right? I
yeah,
got this from Brownells. Like, how could
yeah,
this? What happens is a lot of times people are getting these EOTechs, Trigicons, and aim points and whatever. They're taking the real unit, putting a fake one back in there. And this is, guys, this is happening a lot.
yeah,
Okay, a
yeah.
lot. Very good fakes. And then they're sitting them back and returning it, keeping the money, pocketing the product, and all of a sudden you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fake stuff in circulation. I promise you that there are companies out there that are accidentally and unknowingly selling OEM stuff that's not legitimate.
True. And I will also say that there are companies that unknowingly, I don't want to be careful without this, how I word this, but unknowingly, knowingly
Oh yeah,
sell fake shit. And
to
I'll
yeah,
tell you a story, but I'm not going to mention the company. A very, very large supplier of firearms and firearm parts sent me fake Glock parts. Okay.
really.
Yes. Very big, enormous. And I called them and got somebody's attention because of who I am. And
Mhm.
I told them these parts are fake. And the gentleman started arguing with me and told me that I was not being truthful. And I'm like, I'm being truthful. Send me more. Pull out what you have. I'll go over it with you.
Yeah.
Ended up getting escalated. I video conferenced with somebody very high up in that company. And I said, go get them off the shelf. I'll show you right here in video conference. And I did. Showed them why what they were selling was not real. Couple of days later, I got a email from this gentleman from
Mhm.
this company who said, um, our buyer, the person who buys for the company, bought them from a person who worked at Glock for 40 years. That's what he said. The person worked at Glock for 40 years. Um, he was old and retired, and he died, and his wife had them. And I found our buyer found them and bought them from the wife in bulk.
Gotcha.
And so this was again, you never believe anything. I don't care who the company is. You don't
Yep.
believe what they say on face. Okay. I don't care what it is.
Yep.
So I responded. So this was their way of trying to tell a major Glock person in this industry, right?
Mhm.
That they bought from somebody, not Glock, because they could just go buy them from fucking Glock, right?
Of course, but they tried
Could
to
just do
cut
that.
costs.
But
Yeah.
to save money, what they were telling me is that their buyer, an employee, bought them from this woman. So I
Mm.
responded. So what you're telling me is you bought stolen parts from an employee of Glock who smuggled them out of the factory? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Ooh.
Right? Because that's what I heard. What you were trying to do is smooth it over with me by telling me a fucking lie that some 40, like a barn find, like I'm watching the Discovery Channel, somebody finds a Ferrari in a barn, right? You're trying to lie to me here. But the reality is that what you're saying is that an employee who worked there for 40 years stole from them
Mm.
and you bought stolen parts. They never
Dang.
responded
Dang.
to my email, right? So look, you know that I have zero tolerance for fake Glock parts. It has
It
killed our industry. It has killed the integrity of what we do as educators and builders. right? And it drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely nuts.
Well,
It
look,
really does.
as
Park the car.
yeah, Rich, thank you for the super chat. My bad. I was delayed on chat. Flying Rich with the super chat says MGB says park the car.
Park the car.
Appreciate you, Rich. Thank you. As an instructor with Freedom Crew University, one of the things that we hear all the time, whether you're talking about Freedom Crew University or even just in general conversations, people are like, "Hey, my Glock's having problems." And we'll get to the ATF stuff, guys. I promise. Just give it a sec. My Glock is having issues, and this isn't doing this. My cruciform is this. My striker is this. Whatever, right? And then the first question is like, all right, let's take a look under the hood. What kind of parts do you have? And what do they almost always say now? I have OEM parts.
Mhm.
And then you find out upon
They
a
don't.
closer inspection, it's like, your stamps are in New Times Roman.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
no.
I'm on eBay, right? That's where they are too, right? I
Hmm.
always tell you to buy from my site, obviously, right? Buy direct from the site, right?
Yeah.
But I'm on eBay, and uh, I can see as a seller, as a top rated seller, I'm a TRS seller on eBay. I can see what is being sold, right? I have all of those tools, and I'm telling you, the $20 Taiwan imported kits sell thousands and thousands
Yeah.
every month of
Yeah.
these kits.
Those are the
So
MIM ones, right? The
the
Oh,
fake knockoff MIM stuff, right? That just break and snap.
that's terrible.
But again, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. So
Yeah.
anyway, we
Yeah.
don't want to dwell on this. We know this. I've got this enormous um, thing that I've been working for months and months and months on, methodically going through each part. I'm going to start releasing it both on my blog. I'm going to release it on my social media accounts that are left. Okay. And
Yeah.
we are going to get that information out there because who ultimately needs to hold all these people accountable are you.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you got burned, if you bought something and paid an OEM price and they didn't send you OEM parts, so they swapped out pieces of it, like a lot of times they just swap out the most expensive pieces of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
then you need to, as the customer, call them out on that. Right. And so the best way we can do that is give you all of the information to verify that you got what you paid for, that you
Yeah.
didn't get duped, that you didn't buy counterfeit. Right. Because understand this, that we talk about this two-way stuff, two-way stuff, two-way stuff. Somebody in the two-way industry counterfeiting and defrauding our fellow patriots are the worst kind of people we could have
Yeah.
in amongst us, right?
Mhm.
So there's I already know that as soon as we educate the community will do their part in calling those people out.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, we need to be the ones that have to do it. Otherwise, nothing is going to change.
Right.
It's got to be addressed. Crump, thank you. I'll hit you up about the couch. I'm sorry, it's been crazy times. Um, Johnny 1982, welcome to the chat. Me, welcome to the chat. Man against the masses. Curb Creeper, what's up, brother? Another channel member. So, a couple interesting things that we've talked about. Did you have? I know you were in a show prior to this, but
It
did
was.
you have any time to or have you heard anything about the Brian Malinowski murder? I mean, case.
Um,
Uh,
so not unless there's been an update, I'll give you my quick opinions on what I already know about it, and then you can
Yeah,
tell me if there's something new. I know you sent me something, but it was while I was on the other stream, and then I
yeah,
came right
yeah,
here.
yeah. I totally forgot
Um,
that. Yeah,
but look, our biggest gripe has always been the same thing, which is the cowboy attitude, the overreacting, this case is a pure example of that. This is a paperwork case, allegedly what he was doing, fine, but it's paperwork. Okay. This person was an airport executive. Okay.
yeah,
There was no need to do a no knock warrant at 6 a.m. in the morning with his wife and kids home.
yeah.
I mean, this is the cowboy mentality, and it is murder, right? Because it could have been solved a million different ways, but it wasn't,
One hundred
you know?
percent. And
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 so,
mhm.
again, it doesn't matter what the allegations are. It's their behavior and their action that is been consistent for decade after decade. of going way beyond what is necessary to quench this thirst of fucking killing citizens. And
Yeah.
it's disgusting. And what
Yeah.
they don't understand is we're fucking sick of it. We are absolutely sick of it.
Mhm.
You know? I mean, we were on Crump this week, okay, to give right? And they were like, they got this whole task force, and the guy's quoted in there, the commanding officer's quoted in there. We investigate these people based on what we believe
Yep.
they're doing.
Yep.
Are
And
you kidding me?
there's nothing about innocent until proven
You
guilty.
know?
It's the contrary. You literally have to provide proof that what they're alleging is untrue. I mean, it's
Yeah,
totally shifting everything backwards. And there were some new developments with this. What they said is that there's actually footage of about 10 agency cars, right? Whether it's a mix of like local marshals and ATF or whatever. It's a whole bunch of them mixed together, right? 10 of them in a Walmart parking lot at like something like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. And it was a week prior to them coming into his home and murdering him. And essentially, they were on camera prepping for a raid, but I guess someone had said, he's not home, so let's not go raid the home, right? Well, the warrant doesn't say anything about apprehending him. As a matter of fact, that was the one literal box that was not checked on the warrant, right? So they did not need him to be there. As a matter of fact, it would have been so much safer to do it without him there. They
right.
waited. They intentionally
Yeah,
waited. They arrived, they put tape over the doorbell camera, and then they started breaking down his door. And he did what probably every single one of us would have done. We wake up and protect our family, right? And then someone got shot in the foot. Wah. And then he
yep,
got T-boxed,
yep.
you
And there will
know?
be zero accountability.
And get this. So, okay, and shout out to Paul from Legally, I think it's Paul from Legally Armed America. He did a great video on it. And his wife that was basically in a nightgown at
Yeah,
like 6:10 a.m. Okay. Her husband just got shot in the face right in front of her. She was pulled out of the house and was like about to piss her pants. She like had to go to the bathroom, right?
yeah,
Had just watched her husband get shot in the face. They kept her in a squad car in a 32-degree weather, held her outside, then put her in a squad car for 4 hours. And then when she said, like, I need to use the restroom, they took her to a fire station and brought her through in her nightgown, nearly nude, and had her, walking through there with all the fire engine staff, chief, all the people there, I mean, essentially as a suspect,
yeah.
it's just crazy because she was right there. He said, "Stay here, don't follow me down." She followed him down, you know?
And everybody from the government who conducted that raid is going to get citations, medals, right?
Yeah, probably.
Right? And the family will sue and they'll settle. The
Yeah,
government will pay it out. But at the end of the day,
with fake money,
yeah,
printed
our
money.
money, our
Yep,
money,
yep,
our tax printed money.
yep.
But at the end of the day, children have to grow up without a dad. A
Mhm.
woman has to carry on with her
As a
husband
widow.
dead
Yep,
and this, get her husband being shot in the face over paperwork, paperwork, paperwork.
yep. I mean, if this new FFL rule that's basically been TRO'd, it's put on hold, right?
Mhm.
If this new FFL rule um, was put into place right now, I mean, man, and look at the timing of that. That's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, they would have easily had a case, for what they're alleging. But this dude was just selling guns. He wasn't like, you know, and this man, I can't even get into it because look what the ATF did with Fast and Furious. Look what the ATF is
Right?
constantly doing with. Look what the
There's
government
nobody
is
who's
doing.
broken more. There is no organization on the planet who has broken more firearm laws than
For
them,
sure.
right? Than
Absolutely.
them. Nobody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But again, has there ever been accountability for any of that? No.
Nope. So
No.
this is actually one reason, another reason why I'm kind of impressed with Paul from Legally Armed America, because when I watched that video, the one that I sent you, whenever you have time, take a listen. He had said, enough with this ATF bad stuff, right? He said, I want to know the name of the person that called for this to occur, the name of the person that helped plot out all the tactics to cut the power, to jam RF signals, to I mean, it went for the sake of time, because we're hitting 11 o'clock. We're cutting it. We're leaving some
Well, let's
info
keep
out
going.
here,
We
right?
got some more stuff. I got you that I gave you a hard stop, but let's keep going.
Okay,
This is
okay.
very important.
But essentially, they cut the power or interrupted the power. A couple people in a chat forum, because I know the GATF is also listening here, so I don't want to throw anything crazy out there. Some folks in a chat forum had said that there's only a couple of ways they could have done that. They either interrupted the power physically at the address, or the ATF literally contacted the power company and told them at this exact time to cut it, which is just terrifying, right? Like, cut off their water, their power, their what, like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And then the tape over the, so they were jamming RF signal as well. They put tape over the doorbell that I guess had a battery backup or solar backup, whatever it was, right? Like my doorbell has a battery, but I mean, you know what? I don't even want to tell because I know they're watching. Um,
No, but
anyway,
here's the point. Here's the point, though. What does any of it matter? They
the
did it.
individual
It
that
doesn't.
planned it,
So what? Well,
they
that
need to
person's going to get
be.
a citation, a medal, and a promotion. That's what's going to happen.
I think. Okay, so let's back up a little bit to like 2020, right? What happened when it got to who did it, who was the man that did it, this one person did this one thing, they need, when the entire country, half the country, was calling for justice or their interpretation of justice. Derek Chauvin was slammed. I mean, he was being walked to the gallows, right? And I don't even personally think he did anything wrong. By the way, everyone, let's make sure we celebrate the fact that George Floyd has been sober for almost 4 years now. Shout out to Flying Rich, by the way. $2 super chat. He says, if Virginia and DC, Maryland, Virginia had a SWAT team, dark would be room temperature. We do. We have several teams out there. Don't give them any ideas. All right. I'm sorry. I'm joking in bad taste. Forgive me. Go ahead, MGB.
No, I'm just saying. I listen. We can get all fired up. It's and I'm not trying to minimize what happened to Mr. Malinowski. Okay, but this
Yeah.
is a long pattern, and he's just the one now. And
Yeah.
next year, there's going to be somebody else, and the year after that, somebody else, and the year after that, somebody else. Right? And so we have to understand that our blood boils over this, and there's so much wrong here. Like there is in
Hmm.
every case. Somebody just mentioned Waco in here not too long ago. There,
I,
there has been not every year nonstop with this stuff.
yep.
Okay, from the same agency. So yes, we can get upset. We can get our blood boiling. We can get our stress level up. We can yell. We can scream. But at the end of the day, they are hitmen for the government. And they've
Yep.
proven that over and over and over again. And there is
Yep.
no accountability. And there's nothing you're going to say or do that's going to stop it. So here's what you should do: stack the fuck up.
Hmm.
That's the only thing you can do.
Yep.
Because eventually it's all going to break,
Yep.
right? It can't go on forever. So, yeah, this shit is terrible. And we would love to live, I would love to live in a country that had accountability for all citizens, including
Yeah.
leaders, so-called leaders.
Absolutely.
Okay? We
Most
love
importantly.
accountability.
Yep.
We love accountability.
Hmm.
But right now we live in an unaccountable and totally excusable of all and any behavior. There's always an excuse. No matter what the behavior is,
Yep.
there's an excuse.
Yep.
So until we can get into a culture where there's accountability, everything else is just noise. and there's going to be more Malinowskis down the line,
Yep.
right? There's just
Yep.
going to keep continuing to happen, unfortunately. And this
Yep.
is sad. It is sad. I feel terrible for his wife, feel terrible for his kids. I know he had a really good brother who has been out there, fighting for this and fighting to be heard. And I respect him as well. And, I'm sure the people he worked with loved him too, but
Yep.
he's one story, you know. I mean, last year, this time it was CRS, our friend,
Yep.
right? I mean, it's just one more story after another.
Justin
It never
Irvin,
ends.
and it's constant, man.
And
And
and can I just mention him for a second? I don't wanna bring him up without it being about him, okay? But
yeah.
he did say something very, very powerful one time that I think was very insightful of him, okay?
Mhm.
And he was talking about the day he was arrested, and he said he knew it was about to happen because he saw the truck and he saw this and he knew it was about to happen.
Yep.
And the only thought that was going through his mind is, I hope they just don't fucking kill me. I
Yeah.
want you to think about that. Like, this was his mindset. He knew this was about to happen. And the
Yep.
first thought that came into his mind isn't, okay, well, they're just going to put my hands behind my
I'll go
back, this,
out, I'll
that,
put
and the
my
other.
hands up,
His
or no.
first thing is, no, they're going to kill me.
Yeah.
What does that say about the people we're dealing with here?
We know. I mean, they
Right?
literally have a complete and other they're operating with complete impunity, right? There is
It's
no
terrible.
repercussion. And
It's
look, all
terrible.
they have to do is
Terrible.
show videos of him on YouTube showing his Scar 17S and his AK and this and that, and talk about, the stuff that we say in jest on live streams can and will absolutely be used against us, right? So they could have easily just walked in and schwacked him, right? But he had to make a decision, and he was like, I got to leave the house. The only way
Yeah,
to protect my family in this situation is if I leave the house. He
yeah,
knew he could see down the street. His street is a very, very unoccupied street that doesn't have like through traffic. And he's just like, dude, I can. He made all the government vehicles, and he's like, all right, so this is
yeah, but I mean,
happening.
to have that as the first thing that goes through your head,
Oh, it's so sad. I mean,
but it's true. That
it
that's
yeah,
the sad part
this yep,
is he was talking about very real truth.
dude,
He was speaking the truth. And
I
so, here's the thing, our justice system is broken, which if the justice system is broken, then the law enforcement system is even in worse shape. We have
yeah,
to remember that, right?
yep,
When the justice system doesn't work, then the law enforcement system is in terrible decline. And the fact is that a judge signed this warrant,
mhm,
you know?
yep,
And again, you don't need to go to fucking college. All you need is fucking common sense, which they don't teach. That's why everybody who goes to college, they don't have fucking common sense because they
yep,
can only repeat what the fucking teacher tells them to. They've never
yep,
been able to think about that on their own. But the reality is that if you're a judge, you don't even need to know the fucking law, right? If
yeah,
you're Dark the judge and somebody comes to you and says, we want a no-knock warrant to go into this guy's house. He's an airport executive, right? He's
yeah, yeah.
48 years old. He's got 2 kids and his wife, and we want to storm his house at 6 in the morning,
Who
right?
happened to almost
You
be
better be talking about a an impending attack.
yeah, like a terrorist attack,
Yeah, right.
something,
Like,
yeah,
oh, it's over firearms that he sold and paperwork. Get the
dude,
fuck out of here. You know what I
not
mean? But no, they get the warrant for it. They
yep.
get it.
But
You
it,
know?
and also, even though the judge could have been, crazy, crooked, whatever, paid under the table. And I'm just saying that because I don't know, right? Whatever the judge may or may not be, who knows? But the judge signed a warrant that said not to procure the individual, not to detain, arrest, or seize the individual. And to be fair, they didn't. They just
Just
murdered
killed
him.
him.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
They just killed him.
But here, look, a lot of people reach out to me on IG and Twitter and all these other places, and I've mentioned this before, right? But in having these conversations with just random people that like, look, we don't know each other online, right? Like, obviously, like you and I are friends, and Rich and Crump, and that we've developed like real friendships through this time we spent together. But a lot of the viewers that I talk to and stuff, like, I don't like really No, no, but the people that I've talked to have been like, look, like, when are we going to be free? When are we going to do this? When's the time we're going to do? And I'm like, hey, like, I don't know, right? But the saddest thing that I could say to date is the amount of people that have said, I've watched CRS get the knock on the door. I've watched Justin Irving get the knock on the door. I've watched Dexter in New York get a knock on the door. I've watched, Brian Malinowski get a knock on the door. Like all these people that we're getting all the examples, even
That's what you
like
know of. That's just what you know of.
that we know of, right?
That you know of, right?
Here's the crazy thing. They've seen that and they're like, even when they walk to the door, hands up, drop to their knees and go like, ah, right? Like,
Yeah,
they're still, their lives are being ruined, right?
yeah,
I cannot tell you how many people have said, no matter what happens, if I get the knock on the door and I go to the door with my hands up, drop to my knees, and open my mouth, I'm joking about the open my mouth part, right? But like, if I go to the door with my hands up and please don't kill me, and I shut up and I get locked up, the rest of my life is ruined. So why not just start exchanging precious metals with them? Because my life is over anyway.
yeah.
It's like, man, you know how
But
sad
that's
that is? And
but
I'm not
listen,
and I'm not also sorry, real quick. I'm also not saying that anyone should do that. I'm not saying that I would do that or any. I'm just saying that we've gotten to a place where it is so dark and so sad that
it
people are
is.
literally saying, "I'm willing to give everything to this because it's all gonna be over anyway, whether I'm guilty or not."
It, true.
And it's
And
sad as shit.
understand a couple of things here, buddy, is that number one is these aren't knocking on the door. These are no knock warrants, kicking
Yeah, yeah,
down your door in the middle of the night. You know, I mean, the average person doesn't, and I'm sure this guy was that person. Okay. They
yeah,
don't go to bed at night thinking the police are going to come kick down their fucking door. Okay.
yeah,
If you're in a fucking trap house selling drugs, then you do. Okay.
yeah,
But for 99% of us, we go to bed every night. We don't think that the fucking cops are gonna come knocking, kicking down our door to arrest
yeah,
us. You know why? Because we don't really do anything.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so put
But that's
yourself
who
in
they're
that
going
position.
after.
But
They're
put
going
yourself in that
after.
position.
Mhm.
I have a wife and I have 3 children, and if I
Yeah,
hear a ruckus or banging at the door, well, then, yeah, we're probably going to exchange those precious metals because I'm
yeah.
not expecting that. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, I can understand why people feel that way, because, and again, what would stop anybody from just coming in and saying police, right?
Yeah, for
We
sure.
got to get rid of all warrants. This whole warrant situation is
Mhm.
out of control where they can just go, they know the certain judge in their area that can give them that warrant who will
Yep.
sign anything, but it has real life and death consequences, So we need to stop it. There's just no reason for them. There's no
Mm.
and understand that the idea of the warrant, yes, he is absolutely correct, and we'll get to this in 1 second.
I
But
did
the
not know that.
idea if you, of the warrant being served from the law enforcement is they're not knocking and they're not coming with to see and check on your welfare. They're coming with a team with automatic weapons.
A fire team.
Yes, a
Yep.
squad,
Yep.
okay? To do what? Get you at all costs,
Yep. And
right?
look, we talked about what happened in North Carolina a couple weeks ago, and there was a guy that was, and this is the craziest thing, is it was a felon in possession of. Thank you, Coop, by the way, for the information in the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. And like MGB said, we'll get to that in a sec. I was not aware that they got the search warrant because they couldn't get the arrest warrant, which is why that was not one of the boxes checked on the warrant. That makes
Yeah,
sense. Um, but like 2 weeks ago or so in North Carolina, there was a guy who, unfortunately, this is not a crime. It's a crime, but if we follow the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution, this would not be a crime. It was a felon in possession of. Okay, so it was a guy that had a firearm or firearms, and it was a felon in possession of. And they go out. It was the local sheriff's office, and it was U.S. Marshals and whoever else, maybe ATF or whomever, and they go and as soon as they roll up, the dude started shooting, and the dude
Mm,
started shooting and injured some officers, and then when they killed him immediately. And then when all the officers started coming to grab their wounded guys, someone else started shooting, kind of like when the first attack is like a decoy kind of thing. And then
mhm,
when everyone else rushes in to save them,
mhm,
they start taking them out. 4 US Marshals were killed. 5 law enforcement officers were wounded because they wanted to take someone's personal property. Right? Like
mhm.
this is where we're heading right now. Like
Stupid.
this, and that's like normal, right? So, and when I tell people like, hey, why do you think they roll up like that to your house? Why do you think they're all strapped up? Why are they in plate carriers? Why, like in my county, the normal police are in full kit, sans the rifle, which is in the car, by the way, right?
Yeah.
They're in full kit, right? They roll up like that because, like you said, they are going to get you by any and all means necessary.
Yeah.
They it it's a fire team. And
And it's a poor strategy.
yeah.
Think of how car chases have changed,
Mhm.
right? Like police pursuits. One of the things that's changed drastically in the last 15 years is that if the speed reaches a certain amount, they call it off, right? There's a
Yep.
lot of cities and towns that have adopted that policy
Or
that
like
if it gets
danger.
to a certain point, we just stop.
Yeah.
And they've stopped because they've been sued so many times because they've been chasing these idiots over fucking, I stole something at a convenience store, but
Yeah.
they'll, go after them 110 miles an hour, and that person ends up killing somebody
Yeah.
innocently on the road, and then they get sued for doing it. And they should,
Yeah.
by the way. By
Yeah.
the way, they should, you know?
If it gets to
Um,
a point where it's too dangerous, the speed's
yeah.
too high, if they're on the
And
wrong
warrants
side of
need
the
to get to
road.
that same place. Like,
Yeah.
it's just it's not worth, because everything is money, unfortunately. So
Mhm.
until they pay enough where it's just not worth it for them to do it anymore, you
Yeah.
know?
It's interesting too. And whenever you're, whenever you gotta hit the road, just let me know.
It's like I
Um,
told you earlier, we just love these conversations,
I
though.
know, and they're so good. They could go on forever, and I know you have a really important day tomorrow.
W
Um, so, oh man, what was I saying? See, I get sidetracked. Um, what did you just say? What was the last thing you had just said?
Talk about the
Uh,
police pursuits, and well, the last thing I said was it's really about money. So until, they're sued enough and it costs them too much and it becomes too costly. But there's a difference between a local city and town budget getting sued and the federal
yeah.
government. The federal government's got unlimited funds to pay out to continue to do whatever they want. So that's not likely going to ever happen on that level,
Well,
you know?
and there is a federal program that almost all law enforcement, whether it's a sheriff's office or police agency, almost every single one in the United States takes part in, where basically, they're like a police agency is a business, right? That's all it is. A sheriff's
You think?
office, right? Yeah,
You think?
literally. I mean,
You
like
think?
quite literally, right?
You think? No, seriously, you think? Because let me do you
Yeah.
want me to go off on that tangent again? Because I will.
Well, I do believe that a police office, right, a police
Oh my
agency
god.
is a
Oh my
business,
god. The
and then I
police
believe a
departments in your town are only there to punish you, the citizen.
of
'Cause
course.
it's a business to extort money from you, to give you tickets for going 5 miles over the speed limit, right? Like, what a waste of law enforcement. You got crime in your city, but they'll sit there and do police details and quotas to give you a thing, and then You get a ticket. Oh, but then you got to go pay to court. You haven't gotten a ticket in 20 years. But if you go to court, you can pay a $40 court fee and get out of the ticket with your good driving record,
Shit,
at a
it's like
court that's hired by
$70.
the judge in the town that you live in. It's
Yep.
all a big fucking money making scam.
That
Oh, and then
plays
let's put
golf
these
with the
little
sheriff.
traffic cameras in there to catch you
Mhm.
going 3 miles over the speed limit as well.
Speed, yeah,
It's
speed
all
cameras
about punishing you, the
for
citizen,
money, for money, yep,
punishing you.
yep, and
That's it.
and
Instead
to
of
make it
protecting and serving you, it's to punish you. Think about that.
the
You're
biggest
paying
change.
tax dollars for law enforcement officers to punish you financially,
Yeah,
when they should be doing is making and rooting out the criminal behavior in your community,
but they
not
don't even believe
punishing
in that anymore.
citizens.
They don't even believe in that anymore
Please.
because the reality is that now, the judicial system isn't working at all, so they don't believe in that. So I mean, dude, here's where things became, and it's been broken for forever, right? But
No, they
here's where
removed
things
community
became.
policing. You grew up in the late 80s and into the middle 90s. Police officers would be riding their bike by your house. You talk to them. You knew that's John, that's Joe, right?
Yep,
You knew those police, or they had community stations and everything. But what they figured it out is that costs money. It doesn't make us money. So they
yeah.
switched it up, and they don't have community policing anymore,
Well,
right? And
now
now it's about making money.
now there is, and this has been happening for a long time. If Joe Vacu is out there, I know he, for some reason, I think YouTube banned him from our chat, but whatever. He's a really intelligent dude, and he mentioned the name of this program. I forgot what the program is, but and Dugan mentioned it too when we did shows forever ago. That there's a federal program where the feds will come in, and almost every single police agency and sheriff's office is taking part in this program, where they will give them money, they'll fund them, they'll give them equipment, they'll give them plate carriers, new armories, like new, you know, you find like these small time like sheriff's offices that are rocking like MP7s and HK416s with cans and all this stuff. Even like night vision, 40 millimeter grenade launchers, MRAPs, armored personnel carriers, and all this stuff. And all they have to do is whatever the federal government asks them to do.
Yeah,
So when
cool.
they have a guy to investigate, when they have a guy that's been selling too many guns to whatever, right? They have to, first off, they have to use the equipment. They have to, use it or lose it kind of thing. They have to use the equipment. They have to report to Daddy Gov and say, here's what we're doing. And if they say we need to go raid this guy, they say, yes, sir, Daddy Gov. We want to keep that, federal funding coming in and all the great equipment, all the great military equipment that you're getting, coming in. So we're going to go ahead and support you on these warrants. So you have local law enforcement support on site, right? So they're literally doing the bidding of the federal government. When our country was created, they said that there shouldn't be a standing army. Okay. Now we have a standing army, and now we have a national, federal, all these federal agencies that are the equivalent to a standing army that are weaponizing our local police against us. That used to be the dudes that were like, hey, Joe, how's it going? How are the kids? How's the wife? Your pool's a little tinge of green. Maybe you should use a little bit more chlorine. And this, like, not anymore, dude. Not
Yeah,
anymore. I see a police officer where I live, they're in full kit, and like we end up having conversations about gear and stuff. And I can't fault every single police officer, but what I can fault is the 95% of them that are shitbags that just want to go in just like anyone else. They want to be the operator, they want to be the fast guy, they want to be the
the
team
cowboy.
guys. And yeah,
Yeah,
and they're literally going in, no knocking, and schwacking dudes that are just doing the first thing that is their instinct, which is bravery, by the way, is to
yeah.
go meet evil or danger with a gun and go to work. That's bravery. And what are they rewarded for their courage? Getting T-boxed by the police that are supposed to serve and protect. Now, for everyone in the comments, it's like, oh, you bootlicker, you think they're going to serve and protect? Fuck no. Do you think I actually think that they're here to serve and protect us? Like, come on. I'm just saying. Anyway, I like to give people a chance and believe that maybe 5% of police are okay. A lot of people that, are constitutionalists will say there is absolutely no way that any police officer can ever, be good, because they're enforcing unconstitutional laws, rules, regulations, restrictions. So they're, by definition, they cannot be, good police. And I get it. I get that
Yeah,
perspective.
but there's two sides to that, right? Because we have to have laws on some things, right? I mean,
Yeah,
murder can't be legal, right? Right.
sure.
So we have to have laws on some things. The problem is that we have a whole bunch of laws written against things that go in direct confrontation of what America is, which is freedom, right? Which is outlined in the Constitution, in the amendments, right? Like
Yeah.
you government shall not, write laws and take away these freedoms from they're the right of the people. And so
Hmm.
this is where you have it. The other stuff though, um, I think your question there is can they ever be? And the thing is that you would need again, it goes back to that word accountability. Until we have an accountable society, you can't have that. You won't have that.
Yeah.
Um, how do we get to an accountable society? I think it just seems so far off right now.
Yeah.
But to give a sliver of hope, pendulums swing, they do. Pendulums swing.
Hmm.
And sometimes they're in short time frames, sometimes they're in very long time frames.
Yeah.
Okay. And we might just be in a very long time frame one right now. But eventually, and we might not see it in our lifetime, okay, the pendulum will swing again because what we know is that this system worked for a long time, but it's no longer working. And it's no longer working. And the parts of that, the reason that it's no longer working is because they have undermined the core principles of why it worked.
Yeah.
Okay. And so until we can get back to a time or a place where we say we need to have core principles that we love our nations, our nation, we love our people in our nation, we
Hmm.
want to take care of the people in our nation, we want to be the best people that we can be, we want to bring American pride back.
And
Okay.
never encroach on the
Right.
freedom and individuality of
Right.
others.
Correct. And we want
Yeah.
safe communities. Okay.
Hmm.
And we want people to exercise their liberty and be free.
Which
That's what we
means
want.
we
And
as
until we get there,
individuals. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, but until we get there, this pendulum is still swinging way out of whack, way out of whack. And we don't have a political system. So obviously, the Constitution is the greatest document ever written, and for so many reasons, And I've said this before on your show, but anybody new who's listening, we have been around as humans for thousands of years, my friends. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years, we live the same exact way. Not much changed. Okay.
Yeah.
But in the last few hundred years, our life on this planet as humans has
Hmm.
exploded to this
Yeah.
here. Anybody across the entire planet can watch this stream. We've
Hmm.
exploded to this in just a few hundred years after being humans for thousands and thousands and thousands of years with no change or very little change. So, what did change? Well, the Constitution changed it. It was the first time in our human history that we as humans, allowed other humans to be free and to explore and to invent without being controlled by an emperor,
Or a
right?
king, or
Or a
yeah.
ruler. This is the first time and the first, as they call, experiment that we ever allowed people to express their ingenuity.
Hmm.
Okay. And this is the result. The result is when you allowed people to be free and you allowed them to um, fulfill their purpose and meaning without a ruler controlling it, we can now celebrate and have this. Okay. And what has happened here, unfortunately, now is the folks that are in place don't see how wonderful that original document was and why it should be applauded,
Even
right?
though
And why we
they
should live by it because it advances us as humans to allow people to exercise their freedom and liberty.
even though they
But
literally
instead,
take an oath to it.
yeah, they're rulers. right? In their head, they're rulers.
Hmm.
And so they want to control and constrain and put you in your place. And so that's the pendulum that has now swung the other way. We've had a couple hundred years of enormous growth and explosion and stories and presidents that have lived by the Constitution that has gotten us here. But now the pendulum has swung the other way, and it might take a long time for it to come back to center, unfortunately. Like I said, I would love to see it in my lifetime, but just looking at the timeline of things and how long things take, it's probably unlikely that I will.
Have you ever had mold? Like, have you ever had a water damage where you had mold or something
Yep.
like that? Like, um, if there was water, even fresh water that spilled in like or leaked in like a basement or rainwater or something like that. Initially, it's just water, and you're like, ew, yuck, right? And then after like 24 hours, it's like, oh, that's starting to kind of smell like a wet dog. After 2 days, then it starts to reek. 3, 4 days, you start to actually see visual mold and it gets disgusting. It's
Yep.
interesting. It almost turns into a literal swamp, right? Then you get mold. And once the mold starts to spread everywhere, the carpet is destroyed, the padding is destroyed, the subfloor
Yeah.
is getting ruined, and there's mold everywhere. The mold gets into the walls, the mold gets into the air vents, the mold gets it. And the only way to truly fix the issue is literally sanitizing everything.
Yeah.
And take that, guys, out there for what you will. Okay, I'm not saying that everything should be sanitized, but I'm just saying that that is the way to deal with the infestation and growth of something disgusting that's taking over like that. Now, I've never seen a situation where when freedoms are taken from people that they're ever relinquished or
Give it
given
back.
back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's as a matter of fact, I was blown away after the coup when things started to change, even though they got what they wanted, right? They killed small
Yeah.
businesses. They got,
We're
Amazon,
still feeling it
McDonald's,
today.
and
It's still
Walmart.
being felt today.
Oh, for sure, for
It's not
sure.
done. Yeah.
I mean, that's part of
Mhm.
how we got where we are here with income and cost and inflation and just all
Yep.
of that, right? The
All of it.
markets,
Yeah.
the vehicles and homes and just everything, right? It's part of it. And then of course other stuff too. But anyway, I digress. The whole thing is that because the we'll call them rulers have gotten to a point where they are so dirty, disgusting, and filled with, and there may be a few that aren't, right? But because the majority of them, right, have gotten to a point where they are so filthy, disgusting, dirty, and they've encroached so much that they've taken everything. They're never going to start to give back, right? They're never going to say, oh, we took this, we borrowed it, but we got what we wanted, and now we're giving it back, right? They're the neighbor that always needs
Mhm.
sugar, that always needs Kool-Aid, that always needs butter, that always needs to borrow a dollar, right there. And that's probably a bad example, but like, it's constant. And the only way to totally change it is to absolutely sanitize everything. And I'm not calling for anything. I actually deeply, I have a deep rooted hatred for violence. And I've also been taking years and years to become as highly skilled in violence as I possibly can be because you never know what to expect. But that's one of the ways I look at this.
Yeah, I just don't see it in our lifetime, man.
Yeah.
I think that we your sanitation analogy I love, but I think the
Appreciate that.
sanitation's happening in a different way. They're sanitizing the love
Us.
for country.
Yep.
They don't want you to love this country, and anybody who loves freedom, they're sanitizing those people.
Yeah.
Anybody that can promote that, they don't want that because they don't teach it anymore in the schools,
And by the
you know?
way, that's quite literally they're sanitizing people so
Yeah.
they don't make any more of them in the future.
Correct. Well, but again, all of the folks that are in on this, and you and I are the ones who started this a couple years ago. It really was. If you go back to some of our older streams, bud, back, a couple 2 years ago,
Mhm.
you and I said this. over and over again. You brought it up the first time, and then we just kept saying it over and over and over again. But
Hmm.
all of this stuff, the life that they think they're gonna have by doing all this sanitization is not the life that they're gonna get,
No.
right? And we applied that to so many characteristics, but just to give you just what's in the news now, right? YouTube, Facebook slash Instagram slash Meta, right? They're all being controlled now by the
Yep.
CIA, right? They're being told, right, to put all these things in. They're completely
Yep.
controlled. They're not really independent. They're being allowed to operate. But that's because you allowed them in the door, because you allowed them to tell you what to do
Yep.
and who to sanitize and how to run your business.
Yep.
And so now they control you and they own you. And now
And
you don't like it and you want them out, but they're not going anywhere. They're there now. They
yep,
own you.
they
And
are the
you can't,
mold.
and you're suffering and can't make money anymore
Yep.
because you've lost so many great things, and you thought, "Oh, well, we had this endless list of competition, I mean, content, so we just keep putting new people up to the front of the algorithm." But guess what? Nobody wanted to watch them.
Yep.
They wanted to go watch the Tuckers of the world, right? They
Yep.
wanted That's who they wanted to watch. They don't wanna watch this new jabroni you got on our fucking screen right now. There is
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
watch time for that person,
Yeah.
right? But you got rid of all these people, and now it's starting to hit you in the almighty dollar, because that's what it comes down to,
Yep.
right? And instead of making $3 billion this quarter, you only made 1.5 billion, and your
Yep.
shareholders are pissed, and your stock's dropping.
Yep.
And so now you're like, well, wait a minute. You can't, we don't want to get rid of content anymore. But now that you let the snakes in the door, you don't have a choice,
Yeah, you
right?
already have babies with them,
Right.
that's your
Right. But
baby's
this is just
daddy.
one more example of that, like that you used to say, and we used to talk about on many topics. The life that you think you're going to get by following what they're telling you to do is not the life you're going to want.
No, no.
It's not.
And even YouTube in the beginning, wasn't anti-free speech. They weren't
You could
anti-firearm, they
upload
weren't.
anything to YouTube back in the day.
Yeah. Dude, we're talking only a
Yeah.
few years that things
Yeah.
started going in this direction, right?
Yeah.
And look, for everyone out there, remember this, okay? We just went, like you said, we went live on Crumb's channel the other day. And what we're talking about is the Department of Homeland Services, okay, of the Justice Department of the United States, working with the state of New York, working with the GATF, working with all these agencies
Yeah.
working together, are literally monitoring people ordering 3D printers, 3D printing filament, any type of firearm parts, any type of lower parts kit, slide parts kit, a slide, a barrel, or anything. If you if you do any of the above, to where you get one thing over here in this category, and then one thing over here in this category, even if you bought a replacement barrel for a totally lawful gun, and then bought a 3D printer for like your kid's school or something, you literally are going to be investigated by the Department of Homeland Services. And if we're looking at people, of course you go live right now. Of course you go live. He always does this, bro. Ugh. Sorry. My bad. F in chat. Okay, sorry. So if you don't think that this is possible to happen to you out there or anyone else, I want you guys to remember you have multi millions of dollars worth of these organizations that are working against you to look at your eBay account, your Amazon account, your PayPal account to see if you might be building a gun. And then if they think you might be building a gun, then they're going to start investigating you, which includes looking into you, your phone, your social media, and all that stuff. And if they see something that they don't like, guess what? They're going to investigate you further, and then boom. So if you don't think that this could happen to the most innocent of people, right? Just keep an eye out for the future, right? That this is what we have to look forward to.
I don't think we have to look forward to it. I think it's happening now. It's happening right now. We know it's happening right now. So it's actually present day. It's not even in the future. You're all on lists
Yep.
somewhere in some database. You're
Yep.
on a list somewhere. Some of us on more lists than others. Some of us higher ranking on the lists.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, everybody, you're exactly right. That's just the
I
world we
know
live in.
you're up there. Look, I know you're up
Yeah,
there. I know you probably have your own MGB list, bro. Like
you know.
probably.
Well, who else is gonna teach him this stuff? They don't know how
I
to build
know.
firearms. They can't even
Yeah,
fucking break down a field strip of his Glock. You know,
they
someone's
need
gonna
to
teach him.
for real. They
You
literally
know?
need to come to Freedom Crew University to buy
And learn.
classes to
Yeah.
learn how to build Glocks, and
But, again,
they may
they
have
could
done it.
pass this and then that business is out, right? That school's done.
Mhm.
If they win this, right? They're just into putting out businesses, right? That's what they're into, right? Or if they don't control the business, they want it out, right? TikTok is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
We don't control it, it needs to be gone, right? We got to control everything, right? Until we have
Um,
full 1984
yeah.
control. But I guess I want to just maybe end on a couple of things before I go. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, you know, we we have I just don't like when we have conversations and sometimes I feel like it's a depressing conversation week after week after week. Because understand, look at me, I have a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
I I being positive, having a positive mental attitude about everything is important. But you have to have these discussions,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
these crucial conversations, as we call them,
Mhm.
difficult discussions, whatever you have to be able to be aware of the things. So yeah, you're on a list. Yeah, I'm on a list. So the fuck what? I'm not gonna let it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, because these games are gonna be played regardless.
Always.
And
Yeah.
like I said, the pendulum swings, right? And
Mhm.
so, okay, you go down the path. W- w- Look what just happened. Was it today or yesterday? It was today. Today. Oh, yesterday. Like they let all the illegal immigrants in, right? And then they vote 168 fucking Democrats voted to allow illegal immigrants to be able to vote.
Vote. Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, you knew that's why they were letting them all in. And
Yeah.
now there's outrage that 168 voted to let non-citizens vote in our election. Shocker.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
We didn't call
like,
that 2 years
like,
ago, you know?
they're making lists so that they can do what someday? For what? Why are you deploying law enforcement officers again, who are supposed to be out there catching criminals, just out there making lists? That's all they're doing. They're making lists.
For the
For
same
what? What
never,
purpose?
never.
What purpose?
There's always a purpose.
What right,
The
right. We
same
just don't know it
reason
yet, but soon enough we'll know. Right,
I think we could
right,
take some educated
right.
guesses, right?
Soon enough we'll know.
For the same
Right.
reason that
Yeah.
the IRS has ordered, you know,
Right.
however many
Stupid.
thousands of machine
But
guns,
again, here's the thing, my friends. Don't
Department of Railroad
don't get
Retirement.
depressed. Don't get down.
Yeah, never.
Live your life. These fucking nutcases are gonna do whatever the fuck they're gonna do. Right? Like they're
Yeah,
just crazy. They are loonies. We know this, right? You have a conversation with them. They're lunatics,
yep,
literally, right? And they like to call us lunatics because we like guns, right? They like to paint those pictures. But
mhm,
the reality, my friends, is this. If it's not going to matter to you, like don't waste any of your time. Let me back up a second.
can I share something my grandmother used to say?
Yeah, please.
So when I was growing up, she was born in 1912, okay? And, she passed away a while ago. She's one of the most incredible people in the world, and she always said, "Honey, if you can't control it, there's no reason to worry about it. If you can directly and immediately impact it, then you can put your brain power into it, right? But
Yeah,
if you cannot directly and immediately control it, there's no reason to worry." This is why I say, like, a lot of us are like, "You need to take the red pill. You need to take the blue pill. Oh, I'm black pilled." What I start I don't know, I just clicked in my head like a couple weeks ago, the clear pill. Okay, you've been provided
yeah,
with clarity. Okay, you now know exactly at least even if you don't know exactly what's going on, you have a clear picture of that these people don't like you. If you're a military age male, you're armed and you disagree with some of the stuff going on, You are the bad guy now, okay?
Right.
Just like the FBI used to hunt down communists and
Yeah.
interrogate them and arrest them, things have been totally swept around, like flipped around, right?
Yeah.
So it just remember that you've been provided with clarity, and all you know, like MGB said, all you need to know is that the most important things that you do is that you first off, I would say, get right with your family, get right with God, and once you have a close relationship with Jesus, all of a sudden the threat of death doesn't have any hold over you anymore. So get close
Yeah.
with Jesus. And then of course, not to be all worldly and stuff, but you got to stack up. You must water, food, shelter, security.
Yeah.
Bam. Those things, and also air. I know we talked about air,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Anyway, that's my little thing, my little pitch, the clear pill. That's DLD's
I
thing.
love it. Yeah, I
I'm
absolutely love it, and thanks
I'm
for grandma.
trademarking that.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
man.
I love
Grandma.
it, man.
Love you, grandma.
Having that moment of clarity is the most important because, well, so hopefully, we can end on a moment of clarity. You know, we it's in. I'll say this. Look, folks, there is nobody in this chat who's been more fucking attacked than me.
Yeah.
Right? Whose life has been turned upside down from this, okay?
Yeah.
From all of that. And I've ranted plenty of times about it, okay? But
Pfizer warrants and
yeah, it's stupid shit, right?
yeah.
Stupidness. But the reality is that um the reason that they don't like you or us is because we believe in everybody's right to live free. At the end of
Yep.
the day, that's their problem,
Yep.
is we don't want to be controlled. Um, Not that we do anything wrong, we just don't want to be controlled.
Yep.
And so, that's on them, and they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And there's really honestly nothing we're gonna do to stop that. Okay. They've got all the
Yeah.
money, all the power and influence. But if you
Yep.
dwell on it and you sit there on social media and you read depressing post after depressing post, you're gonna fall into depression.
Absolutely.
And
It
you're
would
gonna feel like you're gonna lose something very important in life, which is hope.
yep.
And hope stands for hold on, pain ends.
Yep.
And that's what you need to do. You need to not consume yourself with all of that negativity because that's all that's really there. And concentrate on the things that matter. And I'll get a little personal, which I never do. Okay. I get a little personal. For the first time since I ever had a public account as Marine Gun Builder,
Mhm.
okay? I posted for the first time a picture with me and one of my sons, right? We saw that. That's the first time I have
I saw that.
ever put anybody in my family on social media.
I saw that. He won one of the
Yeah.
lead roles in Willy Wonka.
He is Willy Wonka.
He's
He
Willy
is
Wonka,
Willy
yeah.
Wonka.
I don't know
So,
why I said it like that, but you know what
yeah,
I you know
yeah,
what I
he is Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna share something personal with you, and hopefully you can take this. So he
Mhm.
said God and your family, your country, in there as well. Okay. Um, Obviously, you all know me from First Time Quality. You know that's my tagline. Okay. But that is a model that I learned in my own family from my dad. Okay. And I practice it everywhere. Um, but if I were to say I was good at one thing, if I'm good at one thing that everybody in my family would agree that I'm the best at,
Can I guess?
sure,
Being a dad.
being a dad. They would all tell you that I am excellent at that. And I have 3 boys. Last
Yeah.
night, I went to my oldest, he's graduating high school, and I saw him get called up for award after award, Presidential Achievement Award, Honor Society Award, Language Award. He was prom king. He's 13 in his class out of 1,000,
Mm,
okay? Scholarships to every school that he applied to.
wow.
My middle child, who I posted the picture of,
Mhm.
is landed every major role. He has gone no, they're all different kids. I'm an only child. I never had siblings, but it's amazing to see how you can raise 3 boys and they turn out so different.
Yeah.
But my middle child, has landed every major role, and now he's been doing Willy Wonka performances all over as Wonka. Fantastic. My youngest, is and I think I've showed you some of him, but my youngest is
Mhm.
an absolute animal at martial arts, one of the most talented martial artists at his age you would ever see, and he's 7.
And he's a
And
gun builder, a Nerf
and
gun
yeah, yeah,
builder.
yeah, he's done stuff with me, right? So, but I say this because I've always implemented something. I look at everything as 5 years. Thank you, man. I look at everything as 5 years. If what I'm gonna do at this moment, I can't see how it pays off in 5 years, then I don't give it 5 seconds.
Mm.
It doesn't matter. I don't give if it doesn't matter in 5 years what I'm doing this moment, then I don't give it 5 seconds. That's everything in my life. That's
And
conversations I have with people. I won't talk to somebody that I don't think that I will talk to for 5 years from now.
when you say that, you're saying, to give something time that you're saying something that is in alignment with your core values, the things that are
Yeah,
important to you and your family and all that. Because there's so much out there, y'all. Even like the entertainment and things that we put in our brain and our families' brains, our kids, like letting YouTube raise our children, like, I think that's important to remember too, is make sure that whatever you're doing and what you're not doing aligns with your core values, the standards and expectations that you project on yourself and your family. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and just don't give your time to stuff that's not gonna pay you dividends, right?
Yeah.
So, like, reading those social media posts and dwelling on that stuff and being in that state of mind, it's not gonna pay you dividends down the road, so just don't give it 5 seconds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, you read it, "Okay, this is the news, move on." Don't dwell on it. What can I do with this time instead? Even arguments, like, we all have relationships in our lives, husbands, wives, right? Whatever.
Mhm.
Like, think of an argument you had with your husband or wife or significant other, I should say, right? Or
Yeah.
they, if
Zing,
you
zang,
had like think an argument you had 4 years ago, does it matter today? No. So it wasn't worth it.
yeah.
Don't give your time to this stuff. Surround yourselves with positivity and do the things of purpose and meaning. When it comes to the stuff that we're talking about and what we believe in at our core, we do it. And I'm telling you this about my children for a reason, because my children have to live in this country. And
Yeah.
it's a shame to me when I do think about the fact that they'll live in a less free society than I grew up in,
Yeah.
because that's actually not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
My generation has failed to allow them to continue to be free. And so they will never be able to have the life I've had. And so we're not getting better, we're getting worse.
Let me pause you real quick. In that one statement, you just took more accountability than any politician, any member of Congress, any Senate committee, but whatever, right? You said, the truth. Our generation, meaning me, you, us, everyone in chat, most people in chat, have failed. Right? We have allowed this to continue. You will never hear anyone else take it's always pushing off excuses onto who calls what and who did this and who didn't do this, and it is always excuses. And you, by because real leaders lead by what they do, right? Not just what they say, by example, right? You just did what we started talking about at the beginning of the show, which is accountability. So
Yeah.
I just had to add that in there.
Well, you said aloud. So listen, you're at where you're at. AT. You're at where you're at because of what you allow
And what
and
you
what you
tolerate.
tolerate.
Hmm.
So if any time in life you don't like where you're at, you have a problem with where you're at, you need to ask yourself, what did I allow and what did I tolerate? And that's
Yeah.
exactly the reason you're at where you're at.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're at this place in our society is because we can ask ourselves the same question. What did we allow and what did we tolerate?
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. Because I got to tell you, you got played fucking perfectly by that other side because they played the
Yep.
Christian shit against you. Oh, turn you. What happened to turn the other cheek? Oh, you're supposed to allow this stuff. You're supposed to have tolerance for this stuff. Look at
Mhm.
you. You're a fucking hypocrite. You Christian, right? Blah 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 blah. You're supposed to, and so you let the guilt get in, and you allowed and tolerated this fucking nonsense to
Yep.
the point that it got so out of control that it's absolutely fucking bananas, and it's
Yep.
too late to turn back.
Because we've allowed it. It's now
Right.
normalcy,
And now they want to sanitize you.
Yep. Yep. It's crazy. I usually at the end of each stream I say, because people confuse Christianity, and believing in God and having a relationship with Jesus, and the things that we talk about. Never get confused, because being a Christian means that you are a warrior of God. Okay? You are a warrior of God, and your job, your responsibility is to enhance his kingdom. Okay? Now that means if anyone else gets in the way that is evil, you are a warrior of God. So what does that mean? You guys draw your own conclusions on that, but I'm just saying, don't ever forget that being a Christian means you are a warrior of God.
And they always have been.
Yeah,
In every story.
yeah,
This is just another chapter. You know, we will prevail. Like I said, it's a time thing. It's a pendulum thing.
yeah,
And I want you to understand this though too. Like all the stuff that you feel is happening to you, it's just money and politics. That's all it is. Like eventually, when the money on this fight dries up, they'll just move to something else.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? They'll just go on to something else.
yeah.
Um,
Well, why do you think they're buying all the agricultural land and
yeah,
all the
yeah,
they have the backup plan to the backup plan,
yeah. They'll move on. They'll move on
yeah,
to something else.
yeah,
The question is how much do they take before they move? You know, and they've already taken quite a bit. What I would really
yeah.
like to see, unfortunately, and I still don't, I'm still not able to really wrap my head around it. And maybe this will be a good discussion for our next live dark. But I absolutely can't understand why these cases go before the Supreme Court and the government argues to the Supreme Court that we get to make this decision based on the 1968 Gun Control Act. Like
Yeah,
every case, no matter what you're talking about, engage in the business, frame and receiver, bump stocks,
yeah,
it's always, well, we have this power under the GCA of 1968 to interpret this the way we see fit as an agency. And the Supreme Court entertains that argument all the time. And what always drives me crazy there is the Supreme Court is the supreme law of the fucking land. Like a GCA is just a fucking law that Congress made. They can just say, you know what, it's bullshit. Get rid of it. It defies the Second Amendment. But instead, they allow and tolerate these arguments over who has the right to do what under the
yeah.
GCA without ever saying, fuck, did we have nothing to do with the GCA?
You want to know,
You have no
and
right to do anything. You know
here's
what I mean?
here's the crazy thing. You want to
Yeah.
know why they do that?
Why?
Because of decorum, because of tradition, because that is something that Congress, because it's actual legislation, and because Congress actually passed it. For an example, the 94 to '04 assault weapon ban, right? If that did not have a sunsetting clause in 10 years, we would still be under that, and then they would be referencing that. But
Yeah.
because it had a sunsetting clause and it disappeared, they'd be referencing that. But the 1968 GCA, aside from the Hughes Amendment and other stuff, is basically all they have to hang on to. But let's ask the, even, more simple question of, with whatever we're talking about, the Hughes Amendment or the GCA or the 1934 NFA or whatever it is, right? If it was truly about law and order and the true supreme law of the land, would the Supreme Court ever allow any of the things that we just mentioned?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, just it's so odd that you even entertain these discussions. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna bring a case before us, talk about it as it relates to the Second Amendment. Not Don't make all your arguments based off of the GCA law,
Yeah,
because that has nothing to do with us.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do is, when babies are born, so this is a new thing we're passing. When babies are born, we're gonna, install a microchip in their throat, and when they say something that might offend somebody, it's gonna
Right.
immediately cancel out their speech, right? Now
Yeah.
that should be okay because it's for safety, right? We don't want people getting upset and committing suicide and all these terrible things that happen, like, look at what they could do on the internet, right? Almost all of my shows would be like this,
Right.
but, you wouldn't hear a thing. Um I could literally see the Supreme Court saying, "Well, you know what? They do have a point. Words can hurt sometime." You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't
Right.
matter that
I
we
know.
have natural rights given to us by God, and these are supposed to be protected by the Constitution. And the
Yeah.
only job of the federal government is to ensure that our rights are not encroached on. But we already know it's a
Yeah.
game. We are being played, and we're supposed to live in this, crammed in this life of consumerism and convenience and pretend to be happy. The only reason there's not a straight up revolt happening right now is because we're not starving and we're not dying of thirst. If we were starving or
Yet.
dying of thirst, we would
Yet.
literally be
Yet.
J6 would look like a
Well,
picnic.
they can't do that until they take the guns away. Then that
Yeah,
will come next.
yeah, yeah. I ain't
Right.
going hungry.
It is a process, right? We
Yeah.
take the guns away, and then we'll starve you.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's just a progression, you know,
yeah, yeah.
which, by the way, means that you should really mentor and learn how to do things yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now I
Anyway,
know we're at midnight.
all right.
We
Yeah.
gotta go ahead
Thank
and
you,
cut
man.
it.
Yeah. Have a big day tomorrow morning.
Yeah, man.
Um,
I seriously appreciate you coming on, man. I
thank you,
love
buddy. Always a
every single
pleasure.
conversation that we have, man. I
Yeah.
value our time together. Um, I think people were saying that they do want to see us get on once a week. I have an idea of something that I'm doing for like a another type of channel memberships that I'm going to be doing, and I
Okay.
would love for you to be part of that as well. So
Of course.
let's chat offline. I'll let you do your
Yeah.
thing, and I think
Can we just share that code again? It's
yeah,
that
yeah,
first
yeah,
slide,
for sure.
because
Yeah.
I'm gonna announce the Memorial Day sale, tomorrow,
Okay.
and I'm gonna sell out the entire store, obviously. So you guys tonight, here it is. It's 20% off. I haven't put this out yet, so everything's still in stock. So if you need anything, just come get it before it's pushed out to the masses, I guess. Okay. So
Nice. Hell yeah.
and if you don't see it in the store, just hit the contact me, send me a message of what you need, and I'll make it for you. That's it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I
All right.
love it. Yeah, I actually got to hit you up for a Gen 3 17 LPK. I gotta work that out. So I'm doing a Shogun Glock 17. So I need some OEM parts. But dude, thank you again for
No, you
coming
don't,
on.
because you need lower parts for the 17. Yeah, yeah. I did all his upper parts kits already.
Oh, really? Are
Yeah.
those are they gone?
No, I sent him. I made them for him. He's using all OEM parts in his
Oh, yeah, for the
uppers.
slides.
Yes.
Dude, yeah. So I'm getting one of those slides. I'm actually sending him a slide. The slide already has all the parts in it though, but
Yeah.
I need a LPK for the
He's got
lower.
some nice shit, bro. For real.
Dude, it is
For
incredible,
real.
man. I
For real.
cannot wait. Yeah, shout out to Shogun too. He's doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, make sure you go to Marine Gun Builder's site and man, we need to support the people that are in our circle. Okay. Marine Gun Builder, he's coming in, he's giving you 20% off. Okay. And OEM parts are the way to go. Make sure you do not buy it from any other source. In my opinion, MGB is the only place to go for OEM parts. And not only is he already at a great price, but he's giving you an additional 20% off with code REMEMBER for Memorial Day. How long does it last?
It's gonna go until, yeah, until Tuesday.
Till Tuesday.
But
Okay.
I'm gonna sell out. I actually had eBay. Yeah, I'm a top 1% on the pistol parts now, so they're actually promoting my store without me this weekend. They've decided to choose my
Wow.
store in that category. So, between the two of them, it's gonna go. I'm probably gonna go through everything that I got left in stock. So, yeah,
Hell yeah.
grab it tonight before I put it out tomorrow. That's
That's
my
awesome.
plan. And
Hell yeah.
join the email squad. Make sure even if you're not looking for parts, but you always want the best deals and to know what's going on, go to the site, become part of the email squad. Just type in your email, subscribe, and you'll get all of the deals and stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, and when the day comes that, I get nuked on, certain platforms, you're
Yeah,
probably gonna get a email from MGB's website saying,
yeah,
"Could you
yeah.
believe
Telling you,
DLD got nuked?" And same thing,
yeah, yeah.
after you go to
But not
MGB's,
to worry. If you really guys want to see it, we have our own platform to live stream on
yep,
FCU.
yep, yep.
That we can host it there as well.
Man, I know we have, like, thousands of people in Freedom Crew University, but can
We
I just
do.
say it is a massively underutilized
It
tool, like,
is.
I
It is.
cannot
But we're
believe
but we're listen, before you continue, we're in a time of unknown, right? We
I
gotta
know.
wait and see what happens,
We're only
you
a
know?
year old. We're only a year
Yeah,
old,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a time where the industry is being attacked. So I get it, but
yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, bro, even if you just came to study and look at what people say and do, like, and it I love seeing people be like, yo, check this out. I built a bridge frame using DLD hardware's single
Ah,
pin
that's
jig.
right.
Hey, I'm
Right.
just saying, gotta love it.
That's
All
right.
right, you got a big day tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thank
let
you
you
guys.
go. Remember, use code REMEMBER at MGB's store for OEM Glock parts kits and other stuff that he may have on there. Look through all of his stuff, but show him some love. Go to his Instagram, hit up his most recent posts and show him some love, y'all. And
I
we'll set
appreciate it, man.
something up for the
Appreciate
next
you all.
week.
Thank you so much,
Hell yeah.
everybody. I know I see so many familiar names in the chat tonight, all
Oh, yeah.
long-standing. That's the that's the thing that we it is so ultimate truth about the build community.
Yep.
We come in, we accept everybody with open arms, right? We're loyal and we stick together for
Yep.
years through thick and thin. And like every name in here is years and years and years of just the fucking grind, man. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like
Been around
true
forever.
hardcore patriots. So, you
Yep.
know, I love all you guys. Appreciate
Oh,
you
yeah.
all.
Appreciate you, man. You
Yeah.
guys stick
Thank
around
you
for a
for having me.
moment. I still got something going on, y'all, so stick around for a minute. And MGB, brother,
Thank you,
good
sir.
luck tomorrow.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you, my guy. And hit me up. Let's chat. I want to share the other
Yeah,
idea with you.
absolutely. Good night, sir.
All right, brother. Good night. Thank you. And for everybody here that's sticking around, I'm thinking uh, that I may go on another platform that is open to free speech, that is open to showing things like that, uh, that is open to us saying anything we want without canning our hold. Y'all know what I'm saying, right? Would you guys throw a one in chat if you guys would like to see me go over to Rumble? Let me know. Then I can do the let's get ready to rumble. I'm just kidding. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do the rumble thing. That'd be dope. Yo, Vash, bro, where you been, dog? Man, I haven't seen you in forever, doggy. Good to see you. Good to see you. 24-hour stream. Yo, I would probably be willing to do that. Yo, Kurt is killing it with the links tonight, man. I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you. Holy moly. Okay, we got the Bobs up in there. We got Drewski, Mr. BS1. Kurt, thank you with the Rumble link. I so appreciate you. Guys, if you don't follow the channel on Rumble, make sure that you do because let's be real, we all know where I'm gonna end up. I still have active, you know, steer right. And Vash Matrix, bro, great to see you. Mike McLuhan with the Juan. It takes one to know one. Ron Bear with the Juan. Jalen Jackson, what's up, man? Thanks for coming and hanging out. We got Zanti. What's up, brother? Let's see. Fluffy Bunny wants a 24-hour stream. Aggie is like, yes. Drewski with a one. Johnny Propane with a one. Odin's Raven. Bro, what a great quote. The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe. What a great. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Fire Rider with a one. Lightning McQueen with a run. Ray Banks. Yo, people are coming out the woodwork that don't usually chat, and they're like, I want more, I want more. I appreciate you guys. My channel has had almost no growth, some growth, but almost no growth. So seeing new names and faces, and not faces, but seeing new names and folks in here is inspiring, and I appreciate you guys, because it's certainly not like platforms like try to like throttle conversations like this and try to keep us from saying the things that we do to empower you to be strong warriors of God that are willing to go out and stand up for what we believe in and, speak the truth. Murphy's Law, my dog, great to see you, my guy. BV Luminous, great to see you. Bob Mustafa, Jen, Jenny Cam, what? Jenny Cam, Eric Stockbridge with the onesies. Let's go. P38 Wilberto, great to see you. MGB pooped my building cherry. I think you meant popped. He popped your building cherry, and that is awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you for the super chat. I love it. It's 556. I don't know about y'all, but in on Apple devices, you can't like pick like 556. It's a little dial, and you bring it to like 1 to 100. You can't do like increments like that. So, I guess you guys are all on like what you call it. Um, Androids that get to do the cool numbers and stuff. Dangle Matt with a one. He said it popped. Yes. Gotta hit the sack. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Good night, MVEs. Appreciate you. Pooped. 11111 1. Appreciate you, man. Zanti Spin 360. What's up, bro? Baptized in fire. Great to see you. Let's see everyone else. Let's go Rumble. Let me see here. Let's get ready to rumble. And boom. Yeah, great to see you, man. Every time I see that mug, I think about you, my guy. You guys know the way I close every single stream. I have the little, thing. It's like, be kind, live a life of care, compassion, contribution. Well, P38 Wilbur actually sent me a be kind mug, and it says B like bzz, it has a bees on it, like BEE kind. Also, someone asked me, hold on. Let me put this in here. So someone asked me where to send stuff. DLD hardware 42395 Ryan Road, Suite 112, box 186, Ashburn, VA 20148. I guess this is kind of one of the things when you get a post office box too far away from your place. I never get out there to get stuff. So, um, yeah, I promise I'll check my PO box more, guys. There's probably stuff out there now. Yeah, so there's someone had asked where to send stuff to. That's where you send stuff to. And just don't be alarmed. I check everything for explosive devices and trackers and all that stuff before I drive back to my house. So the people at the UPS store think I'm crazy because I literally go out to the trash can and like start to open stuff right in front of the store, and they're like, "Yo, what is this dude doing?" I'm like, "You don't get it. You don't get it." Um, it says coming stream for 15 minutes lightweight. I know. I got I man, I don't want to say anything bad, but it's frustrating to go live, right? And then when I go live, it's like 15 minutes, 30 minutes into it. It's like, boop, so and so went live. I'm like, bro, come on. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Like, that is like intentional. Like, imagine if I waited and, it's not cool, man. When the tactical turkeys are still alive, I try to wait to push it to like the last minute. We communicate with each other, like, hey, we're going live. We're doing 8:30. Okay, I'm going to do 10. We'll be doing an hour and a half for 2 hours. Okay, well, it's a Okay, I do not know what's going on, but give me a 5 point if you guys can hear me. I know I can't say a 5 by 5 because I don't have any video at all, but something just happened. It seems like my internet completely went down. So I have no idea what's going on, but what in the world? Yeah, this is crazy. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, so you do hear. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I switched networks. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so it says it's StreamYard. I don't think it's me. The StreamYard can't be reached. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to try. What in the world? That's crazy, bro. I'm going to. Did they cut your power? No, luckily, they did not cut my power. Maybe let me go to my. Yeah, all my modems are working. That's crazy, bro. That's insane. I have no idea. My internet is completely out now. So I'm literally on my phone, and it won't even show my video. Let me see. I don't even know if you guys can see me right now. Okay, well, there it is. That's fun and interesting. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. At least I actually can. I can see my video now. Hang on. Now I can't hear. Yeah, we're out. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's saying the StreamYard can't be reached. DNS address cannot be found. Yeah, bro, this is crazy. I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on. If I can figure out what's going on, then I am going to. Ooh, your connection was interrupted. That does not sound good. Okay, so hang tight. If I can get this figured out, then I'm going to go live. Let me prop this up. I'll prop this up on a PMAG. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can troubleshoot and see what's going on with my service. I honestly have no idea what's going on with my internet. That's kind of crazy because all my modems, towers, whatever the hell you call them, I don't know what they're even called. Those look like they're good and on, so I have no idea what's going on. Now, if my power goes out, that's a different story. So if I can get this back up and running, then I'm going to do a live stream on Rumble too, because I got a whole bunch of stuff all over my floor and all over other places where, let me see. Yeah, where, I want to show some of this stuff off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Um, Anyway, what I'm going to do is if I can get it worked out, then I'm going to go live on Rumble as well. So just kind of keep a lookout. And if you do not subscribe to my Rumble channel, you got to. What are you doing? That's the place where all the free speech is had, where all the guns can be shown, where all the come on. Hey, Black Diamond Guns Gear, what's up, brother? Something happened. My internet got dropped, so I'm literally on my cell phone right now. For channel members, drop the ATF emoji in chat if you think they're finally coming after me. Anyway, here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. First off, I so appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. The fact that we still got like 50 people in here and we're just talking about, current events, what we believe in, and the fact that we're talking about God, having a relationship with Jesus, it's so important. Quick update, my dad is doing better. He's still in the hospital. He's still in the ICU, but he'll probably be moved out soon, probably as early as tomorrow. He started to become more regular, and he started to like he sat up for the first time yesterday. He's things are becoming more regular, so I'll say that without being like disgusting or anything. But I appreciate all the prayers. Like, you guys have no idea. I mean, I was tripping. That's my dad. It's my only dad. You know, he's awesome. He did make me, him and my mommy. But anyway, my dad is doing better. I appreciate all the prayers for that. You guys are incredible. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying mobilizing mobilizing the army of God, right? Like, that's, man, I got to be careful what I say on this, because that could sound like a call to action. Mobilizing the army of God to enhance the kingdom. Okay, we'll just say that. All right. Anyway, guys, I'm going to do my best to see if I can get on Rumble. I appreciate you guys coming in for hanging out. And remember, in these crazy, tumultuous times, all that we have to hold on to are obviously our family, getting right with our family, getting right with God, having a relationship with Jesus, and being at peace for as much as we can in our life. Okay. Find a way to seek peace. No more the red pill, blue pill, black pill. Look for the clear pill, right? The clarity that gives you clarity on exactly what you need to do and what not to do. And just keep as much clarity as you can to focus on what's best for you, your family, and your future. Okay. The other most important things are for you to make sure that you can continue on a path of growth and development is standards and expectations of yourself, accountability, like we talked about with MGB, right? And some of the rules that I like to share with you guys at the end of every single stream are the following rules. Rule number one is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So be kind. Rule number two is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. Rule number three, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Think about that. Good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. I do want to give a quick little plug to my website, DLD Hardware. Anything that's purchased from DLD Hardware, whether it's tools, jigs, maintenance stuff, cleaning stuff, whatever it is, that supports the channel directly. That is my business. It supports me directly. Even if you have a project you want to do in the future, ordering something from DLD Hardware is a huge, huge help to the channel. So anyone that does order from DLD Hardware, even if it's merch, I so appreciate you guys. It helps tremendously. Order from Fat Tack if you go as well. And there's going to be merch on there soon, DLD specific merch that will only be available at Fat Tack. Also, if you go in the description, there's Goon Beam. There's also tack knives. For tack knives, if you use code DARK, you get 20% off of your order for some of the dopest OTF knives in the business. Like, what? I know, right? So make sure that we support our homies over at Tack Knives as well. Can't believe I still have all these sitting here. But they do make some of the dopest and most affordable OTF auto knives. And you get 20% off with code DARK. Code DARK. So, lastly, what I was able to do is grab a link to join the channel as a channel member. If you go in my description, like one of the second or third things down in the description is a link to click to join DLD After Dark as a channel member. That is a direct way to support the channel as well. So ordering from DLD Hardware, becoming a channel member, and also ordering from the homies, right? Like Goon Beam, Tack Knives, AR Takedown Tool, the JM4 Tactical, all the homies, Gideon Optics, use code GLOWIES with Gideon Optics, all the homies, code DARK with Goon Beam. It supports the channel a lot. So DLD QVC, always, you got to do it. It's the only way to keep the lights on, and apparently the internet on. Oh, My lights just went. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, Black Diamond Guns and Gear, new channel member. Guess who just joined the Kim Light Battalion? My guy. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Black Diamond Guns and Gear. Go check out Fat Tack as well, because Fat Tack is the thing that is running Black Diamond Guns and Gear. We want to support them. And I mean, obviously, it's one of the things that's helping fund his channel too. So we want to support them as much as possible. And you may find a bunch of other creators, uh, um, merch there too. Like they call it influencers merch. So other content creators that you're familiar with is going to have merch there. Shooting Gallery Official is in there. John Crump is in there. There's a whole bunch of other creators, people you probably like literally watch. So go check it out and support all the homies. And if anybody is willing to become a channel member, you would be supporting the channel directly. If anybody is willing to order from DLD Hardware, you support the channel directly. And guys, the most important thing in the end, before I push the button, hopefully I'll be going on Rumble soon, but the most important thing is, guys, become close with Jesus, build a relationship with Jesus. And I am so comfortable right now in the same breath of that to say, fuck the ATF. Fuck the ATF. You literally killed this man. You are fucking disgusting. You are evil. You are stinking, shitty ass, hot trash baskets. And all you fuckers are disgusting. So, love y'all. Bye.